Claire from Created the Ottaway. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin'Up in the UK. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate you popping along and spending some time with me. This is what we are making today. Okay, I will talk you through those in a minute. It is a really simple make. It's called a Z-fold card. If you have a little look around, or if you're on any crafty sites, you will have seen many different versions of this. I just wanted to take you back to basics really, and just show you that just because it's a simple fun fold doesn't mean it hasn't got a wow. It's all about you adding your own special touch to it and using what's in your stash really. Get the most value of what you've got and just stretch your supplies and just have a bit of fun with creating. So these two versions that I've got, if I move this one out of the way first, this was made with the Let's Go Fishing suite from Stampin'Up. As a Stampin'Up demonstrator, I absolutely love their products. That's why I'm a demonstrator. And I mainly use theirs in my videos and in my crafty makes for all sorts of reasons, for home decor and gift giving, anything. I just find their coordination so amazing. So this is made with Stampin'Up Let's Go Fishing suite. I've just added nothing really. It's got some designer series paper on it, 3 different types. This is actually one of the paper bags and I've just cut it up because I wanted a different paper and I didn't have anything that matched. The squares are die cut 2 different sizes. There's some layered squares that Stampin'Up used to sell. You can get lots of layered dies on their website at the moment, and I'm going to show you one in the make today. But I just love the effect of how it looks when it's closed and then when it opens. Usually I do it the other way around. I do a bigger one on the front and a smaller one behind, but I think this really adds to this. And these are stamped and die cut from the same suite. So that's it basically. It stands like that. It's really simple but really effective. The other one is from the Fresh as a Daisy suite, and again I've used 4 different designer series paper. 3 are from the Daisy paper itself. Remember, Stampin'Up paper is 2-sided, so look at both sides, and I've just coordinated the colours that's in. And then this dotty one here, this panel here, that's from the in colour papers that Stampin'Up do. The circles, again, I've layered them, but I've also used this die. I don't know how well you can see that, but there's this die here that's from an old retired set that I just think just gives it an extra something. The daisies are cut from the dies in the set, and I've used the same colour that's on the background. Look at your designer series paper that you've got and just pick out one of the colours. The leaves, I've done the colours the same as this, and it just adds to the overall effect. You really don't have to think too much. You just find out what the colours are in your paper and then just go and die cut them the same. For the little bits on the flower here, there is a little die that cuts out some of these. I find it a bit of a faff because it's so small. So I don't know if you can see that, but on the flower I've just used a Stampin' Right marker, so a marker pen like this. It's got 2 ends, a fat and a thin end, and I've used either end just to dot. Just do loads and loads of dots and just fill it in like that, and I think that's much more effective. It works for me, so that's what I like to do. So there's the 2 cards, same card, same basic fold, okay, both just Z fold cards, but look so different. So what's the one we're going to make today? Let me give you the sizes. Let's move that out of the way. It's called a Z fold card, like I said. You sort of start off with a normal card base, so whether you cut it yourself or you just buy a shop bought card base. I'll show you how we're going to fold it, and then we're just going to cut a strip off of that card and reattach it to the front. and then there's some designer series paper that you need for the front, and that is it. I've put it as inches and centimetres, so grab a screenshot of that and then we can get making. Okay, so let me show you the paper we're going to use. It's called Beary Christmas. I struggle with saying Beary Christmas. I'm not sure why. I want to say barely or berry rather than bear, as in growly bear. So that's, if I'm going to stumble over that every time I say it. So this beautiful paper has got some beautiful bears on it. Ta-da! This is one side of the paper. It comes as 12 by 12 sheets. There's a particular one there that's a bit of a scene going on. That's gorgeous. Some snowflakes, some perfect for scrapbooking this page because you can cut it off in strips, some lovely trees and some polar bears and Christmas trees that you can fussy cut, or you can get a punch to punch them out. If I quickly spin it over the other way, there's another piece of paper that makes a nice scene. There's some more animals with deer to cut out and all sorts going on. So grab yourself some of that paper if that tickles you. You can shop with me at createdtheottaway.co.uk if you're in the UK or Ireland. So let's craft. Where is my paper trimmer? So you're going to grab yourself an A4 sheet of paper. This is real red and we're going to basically cut it in half. So I'm going to take my paper trimmer. So from one A4 sheet you're going to make 2 cards. So you might as well make 2 at the same time. Top tip. There's no point putting it away to the side and thinking, oh, I'll do that when I've got nothing else to do. You've always got something to do if you're a crafter. There's always a make you want to give a go, or so just make 2 at the same time, and then you've got one to gift and one to keep for yourself, to spark new ideas, or just gift when you need something quick. A4 sheet. We are going to turn it sideways so that the longest edge is along your cutting line. So some people use the guide that's top and some people use the guide that's at the bottom. It's exactly the same. It's got rulers at the bottom and the top. You put it whichever way round you want. But what you're going to be basically doing is cutting this in half. So longest piece at the top, slide it in, and you need to cut it at 5 7/8, which is 14.9 centimetres. So you're just going to cut it straight in half. That's my scoring blade, and this is my cutting blade. Ta-da! 2 cards. Then you're going to turn your card, so you've got the longest bit at the top again. Slide it under, and this time get rid of that cutting blade, okay? It's really easy to cut when you're wanting to score. So get that out of the way. You've just got your scorer. You're going to slide it along so that it is 2 1/16. Now that sounds really tricky, but basically get it to 2 inches. So slide your card up to the 2 inches line and just slide it along to the very first line after the 2. Now, if you're working in centimetres, you want 5 2 centimetres. Okay, so we're just going to score down the length of the card. And then we're going to score again at 4 1/8. So that's the 4-inch mark, and then it's 2 little lines past the 4. So 4 1/8 is 10 1/2. And that's your score lines done. So you've got 1 2 score lines. Turn your paper or your card sideways so the shortest end is at the top, and this time you're going to slice along the whole length and you're going to take 1 inch off. Now the way that I've got my paper trimmer set up is easier if I cut the inch off from this side. So you can just about see there's a 1 inch mark there. So I'm going to line my paper up to that 1 inch, which is 2 1/2 centimetres. And I'm going to bring my cutting blade back up and I'm going to cut that off, okay? So let's bring that back in. So I've got my card and I've got my strip. Now if I put that like that, you can see if I put it together it makes the whole card. And what you're going to do is the biggest piece is going to be your back piece, then you're going to fold it over and then you're going to fold it back again, and that's where you get the Z, okay? And then you're going to do exactly the same with your extra piece here. So you've got two pieces like that. When you come to stick it together, this bit is going to flip over and it's going to be joined on there and there, okay? And that gives you your little line at the bottom that you're going to add some detail to, and that's it. Feel like it's a bit of a ta-da moment. Now all we need to do is decorate it, and this is where you can really go wild. You can show what you love about crafting. I'm going to use that Beary paper, and I've already cut some of the panels, but I'll talk you through the size. So I like to think about how it's going to look when it's shut as much as how it's going to look when it's open. So I had a little look through the papers, and I decided that I want the background piece here as a little bit of a scene, so that it's sort of a bit of a wow when you open it. It's not just a pattern, it's a lovely little something going on. So I've cut that piece. That needs to be 4 inches by 4 3/4. So it's 4 inches along that way and 4 3/4 down. Now because I'm using red card and my paper has got a white core, what I tend to do is use my Stampin'Up marker, the felt tip end, and I just go along the edge. You could do this with any of your felts that you've got. If you haven't got the same colours or you haven't got any pens, you can, if you're really careful, rub it along your ink. So just open your ink up and then just slide it along. Sometimes it does soak up a little bit more ink than what you want, but that can add to the effect. So give it a try on a bit of a scrap paper and see if you like the effect or not. So I am happy with that. I'm going to glue that straight in place because I know exactly that I want that to be there. I used Tumbo glue when it was working because it gives me a bit of wiggle room. Oh, come on. Didn't you just know that was going to happen? Because it's my last pot as well. Okay, let's see. Oh, now it's coming out loads. Too much pressure. Okay, you really don't need too much glue because what happens is when you squash it down flat, it just spurts out everywhere. So less is more. It's a very strong adhesive. So while I'm placing this on, what I'm doing is looking along this side and just looking to see that there's a nice frame around my paper, top, bottom and down the side. This side, if I've done it terribly, it's not going to matter because you're not going to see, but this side here is the bit that everyone's going to see. So I concentrate on lining up this side and then moving across. Now, these two panels, one is going to be inside and one's going to be the front feature of the card. So I went through my paper, I decided that I want this piece to go next to here because it carries on the tree theme, and then this piece on the front because it's all about gifting. It's got some lovely present design on it. Now if you turn your paper over, you can see that this side is the same paper. I'm a little bit sad about covering up the polar bears, but needs must. And this one has got this pattern on the back. I could use that. That does actually look quite nice, but I want the present bit to be showing upright. Also have a quick check of your paper to make sure that it's the right way. So my trees are right, my bows and my presents are right, and the size of this paper is 1 15/16. Oh, it's that scary 16ths again. It's 1 line less than 2 inches. If you're working in centimetres, it's 4.9 centimetres. And then this way, it's exactly the same as this, 4 3/4 or 12.1. Now I've already gone around the edge of mine with my real red pen. So I am just going to put some glue on that. Another tip, did you see what I did there? So sometimes when you're holding the glue and you're trying to put, you're holding the paper and you're trying to put some glue on, you end up putting far too much because it's in your hand. So let me just stick that on there before it wiggles too much. Again, I'm looking to make sure it's got a border all the way around. So if you move your card out the way, put your paper down so it's only on the board, and then angle your glue so it's directly above it. It gives you more control. Don't have it floating, have it rubbing against the paper, you can hear it. And you get a lot less glue and a lot messy. So put that on there, like so. There you go. So once they're stuck, I close it, open it, close it, open it. Now you can resize this card. You can do it bigger, you can do it smaller, you could do tiny little gift cards with it. It's such a good, easy design. So this is going to go on here. I'm going to add the paper panels first, and I've already got those ready. So they are going to go along there. Ah, look, I've cut those wrong. Let's get that trimmer back in. So they need to be, because the strip is 1 inch, I need them 1/8 of an inch smaller. Now this is going to be fun, trying to cut a tiny bit off. So I'm going to put that like that. Look at that, it's such a tiny amount. And now when I put that on, leaves a nice border. Are these going to be the same? So make sure that I am cutting the right bit off. So it's that bit, isn't it? So that's there. Cutting the stripes off. I wanted the stripes. Never mind. Okay. That bit round that way. So these are the same size width. So the biggest bit is 4 inches and the smaller bits are 1/15/16, but they're only 7/8 wide. Okay, just bring that back in because that is really going to show against the red. So I've done most of it. It's just that side I've just cut now. So just going along that edge. There you go. So let's bring that in. Again, put some glue on it, but not too much because otherwise it's just going to spurt out everywhere when I press it down. It's hard to see how much glue I've put on there. Do I want it that way or that way? I think actually I want it this way. Let's see. So this one is the 4 inches bit. And that goes on the longest piece. And then these pieces and this piece go along this bit. Right, let's see. Whoops, upside down. And actually, is there a certain way? Does this one go first? Yes. Oh, I've done it again. Upside down again. I'm going to put that one there because that doesn't look. Okay. And that one there. Okay. And then what I do is I bring this back in and I'm going to stick this piece on first. So I know that this is only about 1 inch there, so I line it up and then I flip it over so I can see the amount of glue I need just on that bit. Okay, and then that bit goes down onto there like so. So at the moment I'm just lining up this corner here, okay, and that's like that. Then I bring this piece back like so, some glue on the back piece, line it up here, and that gives you your stand-up panel. Okay, ta-da! So let me show you these beautiful things. Deckled circles. Look at the amount that you get. Now I've just received these and I was desperate to play with them. My head is buzzing. So we are going to use them on the inside of our card. So I've used 2 different sizes. How many is there actually in the pack? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow. Okay, so I've used a fairly big one. Was it this one? Yeah. So it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the 6th one in because I really want an impact on the front. So I decided to die cut in the same red as the card, and that is going to go on there. Okay, like that. Shall we go ahead and stick that on? So about halfway across my circle, I am going to put some glue because I only want half of the circle to stick. So that's about halfway. Make sure I've got it there. Okay, like so. So it gives a little bit of a hint that there's more behind. And then this one is going to go on the top like that. So I have brought in the Magical Meadows stamp set because I really like this. May this season of sparkle bring joy and delight. So I'm going to stamp that onto the front of here. And I'm going to use Garden Green. I did think about doing it in red, but I want it to stand out slightly more than it already does. So Garden Green it is. Let's hope. So look at that. I love the font on that. So that's going to go on there, and I'm actually going to put it on with some dimensionals because I want it to be higher. I want it to pop off the card. I don't want it to be completely flat. So it's not going to have much weight at all on it. So I am just going to put 3 on there. Okay. Oops, everything is sticking to me. So that's going to go there. Now, the sentiment that's behind, when I stop to think about it, if I put another white one on the back, it's going to hide all the polar bears. So how about some vellum? So that's what I'm going to do. I've got some vellum. I'm going to stamp one of the other sentiments. So the other one that I really like is Winter Wishes. There's that in there. And that's in the same stamp set, same font. But this time it's on the vellum. Okay. Now the thing about stamping on vellum is it takes a little bit longer than card to dry. So I'm not going to do anything with that until it's dry. I'm just going to put it to one side. But that is going to go behind there. And can you see? You can still see the bears through it. Okay, so that's going there. Now to decorate the front. So I don't like wasting anything. So on some of the paper there's bears that are along the edge. If I show you that, look, there's the bear, there's where he comes off here. So I have cut him out and I think he could sit there or even there. Okay, so I'm going to stick him on there. But then I noticed there was another bear that was along the edge as well. So I'm going to put him just tucked under there. Okay, so I think we're going to stick this one first, and I'm going to use some dimensionals on him just because I want him to pop up a bit. just to make my card a little bit 3D. So I've just put a couple on him. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue along the edge so that I can press down the edge. How far up can I bring him? There. Okay. So that means I've still got that nice frame around my card, but my polar bear is there as well. Okay. Now the other polar bear, there he is. I'm just going to put some glue on him and I'm going to just tuck him behind. Okay. So he is just going to tuck ever so slightly behind there. I'm just going to hold him in place while he glues. So now can you see, look. And then I did exactly the same with the presents. So I've got some little presents here that I have just cut out from the bits and bobs of the paper. So I'm just going to stick those as well. I'm going to stick some with glue. Like so, and some with dimensionals. So this one and this one, because they're little, are going to be on dimensionals, and this one is going to be one's going to go there on glue. And you can do this to your heart's content. You can fiddle and get it looking exactly how you want it. This one is going to go there, I think. And then this one's going to go on here, just to cover up those two joins there. Okay, so that's that done. Now if we bring this little bit of vellum back in, we need to put that on there. Okay, so vellum shows up the glue, so you really just want to try and put the glue where your sentiment is. So I'm literally, because it's such a thin piece of vellum, spreading that out. It's just behind the wording, but I also want to make sure it's hidden. Okay, there you go. There is our Season and Sparkle card with the Beary Christmas, and it's an Easy Z pop-up card. Ta-da! So 3 different cards, really simple, basic fun fold, but completely different. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, you can subscribe to my channel and follow me for more ideas and inspiration. You can find me on Facebook or Instagram. I love to see your makes, so please do share them with me. And remember, if there's anything you really love, shop with me at createdtheottaway.co.uk. Thanks for watching. Bye.